All right, everyone, welcome to this daily sidereal forecast for July 27th, Monday. My name is Athen. So we've got the moon in Scorpio here today, finishing up from Sunday, shifting into Ophiuchus here about midday for those of you in the States, in the evening if you're in Europe, and of course if you're in New Zealand or Australia, do watch the previous day's video as you'll find that to be the most accurate. So yeah, a day of transformation, a day of healing. Actually is a strong healing emphasis with the moon here, but also because the ruler of Scorpio, Mars, will be trining up to the ruler of Ophiuchus, Chiron. So that's going to be the strongest aspect here today in terms of the major aspects coming off of Sunday. So very much like Sunday, less so with that Saturnian energy, which was the case particularly with the moon going over Saturn, but still continuing with maybe some of the healing energies from the tail end of the last weekend. So it is a good day for all that stuff, and just like with every transit and aspect, it's very important to be open to the energies of the time, and right now the energies are certainly signifying this healing stuff. So here with this, it's about seeing our adequacies and inadequacies. It's about seeing our sense of self-worth, seeing the wounds, basically, the places we feel wounded, so that we can be aware of them, so that there is that conscious light to transmute them, so to speak, because Ophiuchus is about, the serpent bear, raising that, quote, lower instinctual element of self into that conscious light for that transformation and for that healing. So it can be a day of heightened healing gifts, especially for those of us who have that natural affinity to do so, and just heightened energy for that. So it's very important, I think, especially today, to be open to healing, and I think that will be enough for these energies to come in, because it does look actually quite supportive. The moon trining Chiron does signify that, as well as the fact that we're in this gibbous phase, leading into the gibbous phase anyways, of this lunar cycle this week, where the energies are sort of getting higher, and we go into that full moon, which is on Friday. So that being said, it's also sort of reflective day too, because over the weekend we had Venus and Uranus gone retrograde. Uranus is still stationed in the sky for this early part of the day as well. And with Uranus in Pisces, it is this sort of reflection on our spiritual freedom, which has been this Uranus in Pisces, reflecting on change, reflecting on the inner liberation, the inner freedom, which is that retrograde sort of internal process of those things, as well as with Venus is reflecting on our values and our relationships and things relating to that also. So sort of station period, there's a lot of planets retrograde, and there's no major aspects exact other than that, other than these lunar aspects actually. So I feel like the retrograde planets are probably going to take the forefront, as well as this healing energy of Mars trining up to Chiron. So that being said, in the morning time period, I think bringing extra attention to peace, presence, compassion will be important, as well as in the evening time, that liberation and then that healing energy. But I think that healing energy, although it's squaring up to the moon in the evening, I think especially during the day, it can flow quite nice, like I said, when we're open to that healing process. Now, one thing we can do too is we can look at the depositor and the rulers of these locations. So for instance, Chiron's in in Pisces, so we can look at Jupiter. Jupiter's in Leo. So this is essentially the way we can flow with this energy. And so right now with Jupiter and Leo, it has been very good for us to express ourselves, to get involved with creative things, to bring in that playfulness, creativity into the daily experience, and to share more about who we are. All of that will be supporting this healing energy today, as well as Mercury, who is the depositor for Mars and Gemini, who's transiting Cancer right now at the moment, reminding us to reflect on our past. Maybe there's some things to learn about that. Maybe some things to learn about our roots or from family and things like that, and to consider these more emotional and sentimental aspects of life, and maybe to express them with the sun or communicate them with Mercury, the internal emotional sense of self. So some things there to consider, and I think working with that energy will be the gateway, the opening, this Mercury and Jupiter in particular, into the healing energies today. One thing I want to mention about Mars too is that Mars is in Gemini, so there's a lot of this assertive direct energy with our thoughts and our ideas. So it's important to find the middle path with that, not going to any extremes with that, and especially when it comes to the physical exercise or the Assertiveness in general, it can be very good to do those things today because we'll find that very healing. But with Mars in Gemini, it does take that extra conscious awareness to make sure that we are finding the middle path with that particular energy. All right, so I hope you guys have a nice day. Thank you again for all of your support. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'll talk to you all tomorrow.